Hello, everyone. It's Friday once again, and we're at Laravel Live today. It's the second day of the event. The first one was a great day, some really great talks. But let's get into this week's top 10. So, in first place this week, we've got Len Woodward's recent video on what's been happening in the PHP internals this week. Len's got a really, really nice way of putting across the things that are happening in the internals group. So if you've ever been wondering what's happening in the PHP world, he has a really good way of explaining things. It makes it easy to understand. And of course, there's been a lot going on this week in the PHP world. So head on over to this video and find out. Then next up, we've got this video by Eric and JMac, where they go through some more of the work that happened behind the scenes of adding caching to Laravel News. And this one's quite interesting because obviously Laravel News is a dynamic site, so it's sometimes it's really difficult to cache that kind of thing. But this video, they talk about the strategies they used and the things they did to put that in place. Next up then, we've got Nuno's latest video about generics. Obviously, there's an RFC in place, and as you can see, it has been rejected. So this video kind of goes into a bit of that, and then talks about Swool, how they've created, or they've renamed their compiler to type PHP. Now, is this going to be the future of PHP? Is this going to be a fork? We don't know, but this kind of thing will possibly help move the language forward, well, hopefully. Next up then, we've got a blog from the Laravel team on how they built Scale to Zero. So there's obviously a new offering that they've got with Laravel Cloud, which means that your infrastructure can scale down to completely zero, so you don't incur any costs. So this is really good for, if you've got kind of side projects or things like that you want to put on cloud. Now, with a $5 a month plan and this, that's going to be it. So, you can move away from DigitalOcean and tools like that and bring it to cloud and benefit from all these new features. Next up then, we've got this this post here by Brent. So again, this is related to the generics that was RFC that was, didn't pass. And this one, he talks to a few of the PHP developers, some of them who, including the person who wrote the RFC, about their feelings and their thoughts on this. And are we ever going to see generics? Who knows? Next up then, we've got this post now. Next one, and this one talks about setting up multi-agent orchestration in Laravel. So it guides you through how to do that. And it's quite interesting if you've not looked into this before, and using the tools that we have available to us, how we go about doing that. So yeah, it's a really good post to find out more how to use that AI SDK in that way. Next up then, we've got this next one by Mohammed, optimizing eloquent queries. So, we all know about the N+1 issue and how many times you might have come across that in a code base. Well, this one, it makes you think a little bit different about, things like with exist and with count. So you might not need to pull in all the data. So you might, like this loop he shows here, for instance, like we've got posts with comments and you want to check if they're not empty so that, you do something inside a block of code. Well, with using with exists or with count, instead of pulling all the data in for those comments, you just have a new property on the model, like called comments exist, for instance, on this one. So you can check if comments exist and then do a bit of code if you want to. So it just means that you are basically pulling in less data. Your queries are more efficient because you might not need all that data. You might not need each comment, but you just want to know that they exist. So it's a nice way of kind of small incremental improvements to your application. Next up then, we've got Luke here with post on identifying exceptions in Laravel middleware. So obviously this middleware, a really great tool in Laravel. You can do quite a lot, with them, and they're used a lot in the framework. With this one, he talks about how his team were building a kind of a small observability layer, and how they used middleware to help out with that. And then next up, this one here by Sadiq. So Laravel Pennant, you all know it, and we've all used it before. And he talks about using the feature flags here done right. So using a third-party service that could potentially cost you a lot of money if you don't, use these tools correctly. Called Launch Darkly. But so he walks you through using Pennant in the correct way to not incur this massive bill. And then finally, Livewire form objects. So this is from developer A1. Now, if you've got a form object, as he says here, like this component has got 20 public properties, then you're doing something, it doesn't wrong, but really you should be moving that away to what he's saying is a form object. So it makes it your code cleaner, makes it easier to understand and easier to maintain by doing so. So yeah, so this post kind of goes through about how you go from a large component like this, for his example here with this checkout page, how many properties he's got there. You move away from this large component to a smaller form object and use that within the component to keep your code clean and better to understand. So that's it for this week. Hopefully there was something there that you enjoyed, and if you did, please do let those creators know, because they obviously it's nice to know that the work they're putting out there is appreciated. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the newsletter, please do sign up. You get your email every Friday morning with its top 10 and a few extras. And if you're at Laravel Live UK today for day 2, please do pop over and say hello and let's chat about all things Laravel.